My name's Jonathan Donaldson. A tattoo out of blood, sweat, and tears. I've been tattooing for a little over a year and a half. Didn't know I could draw at first until I started. I started drawing about a little over 2 years ago. Was Jeff's apprentice when I started. Usually it's a 2, 3 year program, but with the progression and how much I really love to do it, I was able to graduate in 9 months. So I'm a licensed artist now. Honestly, I guess it's a hidden talent because I've started, doing paintings with my grandmother when I was a little kid watching Bob Ross. So I did like acrylic paintings and stuff like that. Didn't know I could draw until I tried. And it kind of just blew my own mind after that. So I've always watched the tattoo shows on TV. I loved watching them. I was really fascinated with them. I love the human body. It's kind of like, a medical trade somewhat. It was around during COVID. I had hurt my knee at my first job. So I was kind of iffy on if I was able to go back to work. So I was just kind of looking for a medium somewhere. I just attempted to draw one day, and I had a buddy at an old shop I used to be his pre-apprentice before. I was Jeff's apprentice. And he's like, if you're interested, I can get you in. And so I was like, okay, I went over there, but it's a very hard industry, and you can get misused big time when you're an apprentice because it's just free labor, free work. And so, they dogged me, they treated me like crap to a point to where I wanted to quit, but I knew I had a talent somewhere. So I shopped around, and then at that point, that's when I found Jeff. Exactly. That's what's hard about the industry is a lot of them live in the old school ways where it's, you know, watch, learn what you can. I'm not going to teach you. I want you to fail. They try to push you out as quickly as possible because they just don't understand if people really want something, you can achieve it. Until I met Jeff, and he was just a great guy. He knew my potential, saw where I was at, and I just grew from there. I was really lucky to find him. Yeah, the first apprentice I had was hell. They dogged me. They first day I showed up gave me a little feather, told me I had to clean the entire shop with the feather. If I was to show up to work, it was all the way out in Chiefland too, and I live in Gainesville. So I had to drive over an hour, hour and a half out of my way for something you're not getting paid for. And, if I didn't have it with me or something, they sent me home. They pretty much didn't train me. They made me their errand boy to go get them the sodas, drinks, run their errands for them, and as I was there, didn't teach me anything. I learned more on YouTube and, videos online than I did actually in the shop I was previously at. That's very true. And I'm not an asshole. Like, you ask me to do something, I'll do it. Like, I clean the shop, I'll do anything you need me to do. Like, but you just don't treat someone like trash. Kind of out of the get-go when I started, I really wanted to get out of construction work and really wanted to do something I was good at. And I was searched for years to try to figure out what I could do until I realized that I could draw. And then at that point, I really wanted to progress into tattooing more and really get a handle on it. So my style is a little bit of everything. I'm really open to learn. I love the challenge. So not so much realism, but I do black and grays, I do color, I guess you would say, Jeff would say my style is more of like cartoons. I like to do floral, line work, calligraphy, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of open to do it all. And I don't really want to say I have a style, but I don't want to be able to turn down clientele just for some artists who are like, oh, I only do this or that. I want to be that one artist who can do it all. So anything that's a challenge, I'm willing to, give it a try. To me, it's my escape. When I draw or tattoo, it's my escape from reality. It's the way I decompress. I used to go home just to draw, just to de-stress throughout the days. And to me, it's a perfect escape, and I love to do it. If it wasn't for the money, I'd do it for free. I just absolutely love tattooing. I started off the old school way, hand drawing everything, even on the stencil papers. I was started off hand drawing it all because I wanted to learn the original way versus the new school way, which is your tablet. You can go on there, you can make a, stencil, and you slap it on the skin, and you trace it out, and then, create your own idea from there, from shading to color. I guess that would be one thing. Also, too, I've heard from a lot of clients that they're surprised with my work because I'm light-handed, and a lot of them have complained about, tattoo artists drilling their skin, and, for the science of it, it's the second layer you gotta hit, and you're not hitting the muscle. So I've been getting a lot more clients because of how gentle touch I've been. Yeah, and you have higher risk for blowouts, and, also being light-handed, I've got plenty of more clients from that. I want to say it's the skill level. Some people just don't understand that drawing with a needle is a lot different from drawing on pencil or pen. So it's a science to it, and you've got to really learn the technique and slow down. My biggest thing I had to overcome was learning to saturate very well and learning your hand speed versus your voltage, which a lot of people don't really understand the two, but you've got to be able to match those two to get to what they call the sweet spot. And once you learn that, it's also something I go off is by sound. So I know when I'm hitting that dermis, I know what from the sound it specifically makes. So that's more of the bigger challenge, I would say. I learned that from Jeff is you really got to listen to it, and if you can hear it, you know you're in the right area, because there's different parts of your body. Also too, learning the human body, you got to learn when there's thicker skin versus thinner skin in areas like that as well. Since I've been here, it's been my favorite place. Like, I love to just come here even if I'm not tattooing, just to hang out and bullshit with them. We're very family orientated. Like, there's a lot of kids and stuff that come in here. I also have a deaf dog, and she comes up here sometimes, stays in the, kitchen away from everything, so it's sanitary. And we're very people orientated here, which I like, because some shops, they just want to get you in, get you out, take your money. But here we like to make it very personal. We like to know our clients, talk to our clients, not shut them out while we're working on them. I like to distract my clients. I've learned that from Jeff is, you got to talk to people, keep them talking, keep them going, get more personal in it, and it becomes a bigger thing for you than just a tattoo artist. If you don't have the time to dedicate, then you might want to look for something else, because I'm sorry, there's a lot of times you come up here and you'll spend a whole day and not even get a tattoo. Or sometimes you'll be working all day long. But if you can put in the time, then you'll be able to see success. So like I said, I really enjoy it and I love it. I've made a very personal connection with Jeff. I think of him as my older brother now. He looks out for me like nobody would ever look out for people in today's society. I love what he started. I want to help him expand it and let it grow. Even if it's one day I have to move away, I've even talked to him and told him I would be willing to open up another Blood, Sweat, and Tears somewhere else just to expand the business because of the legacy that he's brought here. And I would like to continue that. He's looked out for me. It's, time I look out for him as well. And it's really good when you can meet someone who likes like that.